Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm, as always, Alex, and I am joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. The Bears are 3-2.
Okay.
The Face Subathon has been fun.
I don't know what that is, but okay. Sure.
Phase up.
Phase Clan?
Yes, Phase Clan.
All right. Okay.
Um, and Hazuki and Koguma really got me hanging on by a thread here with pro wrestling.
Okay.
Um, and
So you're
and
saying you did not love AJ Styles versus John Cena? Is that what I'm hearing?
I didn't see it.
That is tragic.
I worked
You
that
are
morning.
tragic.
Wait, no, what did I do that for? I was doing something that morning. Because it was
Oh, yeah,
on at
yeah, it was at like
at
book
like
o'clock
8
for you
a.m.
guys. Yeah.
So I
I
was
kind of
like,
forgot.
yeah, I'm busy. I can't do that. Um,
That's fair.
but no, I mean, I'm sure that was great because it's John Cena. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and also Sonata. Terrible match against Drilla Maloney,
Mm-hmm.
but he had like a guy wear a fucking Sonata
Oh, I
mask, like a
saw. Yeah.
photorealistic Sonata mask for some reason. And like it wasn't even like a House of Torture bit. It was just like I was expecting the other Sonata to show up
Mm.
at some point during the match, but he didn't.
No, he's just
So I was
being
like,
extra.
what the fuck just happened? Like was that Dick Togo? I think it was Dick Togo, but I don't know.
Too tall.
Crazy shit there. Yeah. Um yeah, let's
Okay.
let's get into it.
Yeah. Well, head on over to the 5-star-network.com for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5-Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as shows like Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling, all go up. No updates on any of those, so we're just going to go straight on into it. We're going to start with Stardom. Lots happened in Stardom. Most of it is not actually in Stardom, because yesterday Syuri beat Sari in the opener of King of Pro Wrestling to become the IWGP Women's Champion. This was all put together last like Thursday or Friday. So in the time since we last spoke to you, they announced the title match, did a preview tag, and did a title switch. So Syuri is your new IWGP Women's Champion. The match has been getting rave reviews, and it's one of those where I think Puro and New Japan fans are just like mind blown at a short match with intensity. Because it was like very good, but I don't think it was really close to what they were doing before. I can understand the enjoyment of the more like condensed version of Sari versus Syuri, especially Sari, who I think can get a little high on
It,
her own supply sometimes.
it's fun to see her go 14 instead
Yeah,
of 20.
yeah, and I think Syuri is better than just about anybody in Stardom at like condensing her match down to whatever time she needs. But yeah, I thought it was a very good match, but definitely not like anything amazing, you know.
Um yeah, I don't know, it was interesting cuz like it had less flaws than their second match, but it still wasn't quite as good as their second match, and their first match was far better. I'm talking about this year, obviously, not talking about like their old matches, but which I don't think they had like one or two singles before.
Don't
But
know.
I digress. Actually, Chris Charlton and Walker brought up how their first singles was like Sari's like third match or something. As her
Really?
rookie year.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2021 or
That's
2021,
crazy.
2011.
Series been around so long.
Yes. But yeah, so I think it was less flawed than their second match. Like I said, I think their second match, going 34 minutes, had some struggles in terms of match flow. But ultimately, this was kind of like the most bread and butter match you can possibly get from
Mm.
Saori and Shuri. I think Saori connects quite well with the not Marigold with the them too with the New Japan fans. Um, like just stylistically, I think she
Yeah.
fucking headbutts people and hits them very hard, and that's awesome. Like I think if this was the sort of match that New Japan put on for the IWGP belt every tour, like every big show, I think that the IWGP Women's Belt would be a well respected and liked uh, entity in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But they don't seem to have any ambition to do that. This seems like it just kind of fell into place timing wise for Sari to drop the belt. So like I don't expect this to be a winds of change sort of thing, unless rumors are true and Gato is fucking a goner, inshallah. Um, but yeah, so I thought the match was really cool. I thought it was really dope for what we usually get from these, Joshi matches on New Japan shows. And I thought the crowd was pretty into it for a decent amount of it. They were I noticed they were actively more into Sari than Shuri, which was
Yeah.
kind of a problem because Sari did lose the belt. Um, like I was watching the match, I was like, they ain't really giving Shuri much. They're giving Sari, they like her, but ugh, that's rough. She's the champion. Um, you'd probably want her to be the more popular of the two in the match, but I digress. Or at least the most stimulating to the fan base. But yeah, I liked it. I really liked it, and it was the best match on that card. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it being the best match on a
I mean there were good matches on the card. Don't get me wrong. Like I thought the tag title match was really good, but it's still the best match on the card.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I would
Main
agree.
event was
It's a
also
good
very good.
match.
But,
I think honestly, I was just surprised that they threw it out there with 3 days notice. Like it's
yeah.
very because obviously once Syuri challenged, it was like, oh, we're doing the Sari special again, where she wins belt, has a few defenses, drops it to whoever. And I kind of thought they would hold out, maybe towards the end of the year, but whatever has happened, they just kind of went, you know what, we're just done. We're just doing it, you know. Um, and maybe it's to free up Sari, maybe it's to get Syuri positioned for a match at Sumo Hall. I don't really know. We won't really know until we see how it plays out. But it definitely just feels like it was very rushed because
Wait. Oh my god. My brain is breaking.
why?
Because I just realized that, like, oh, maybe they're building to the Konami match finally, and I realized that Konami is having her own day, um,
Yes.
having her own stuff going on. So it's not even like that's the goal for 2 months from now. Um, Crazy.
Yep. Um. But yeah, that's I don't
I
know.
do think, and obviously, it's New Japan, but I do think it probably should have gone on later. Hot take, I know, but like it didn't
Well,
need to
yeah.
be
Yeah.
before
There
the
are a lot of
dude.
men here to let them step aside. I don't know about that.
Like I get it ultimately because like for once everything on this card mattered, which is
Mm.
not normal in New Japan. Like even the prelim tag that didn't matter ended up being the biggest story of the show where the two were fucking Lij and Bullet Club united. Like that's insane. So I get it. Like that was the least important match and that was what it built to later in the show. So I get that everything kind of mattered. But also Sonata and Drilla could have had the opening match. Like that
Yeah.
shit was bad. Um, Shout out Sonata though, but I digress.
I think what's most important about this is that Syuri in the lead up was kind of like, I want to win the belt and I'm going to take it to the Tokyo Dome and wrestle on Wrestle Kingdom. And then today, Saya Kamitani had a press conference to announce that she would be wrestling on Wrestle Kingdom. So either they are doing Syuri versus Saya at Wrestle Kingdom, or they're doing some sort of tag, or Syuri was trying to shoot her own angle and they said no. But I mean, the fact she won it here, Saya the very next day is announced for Wrestle Kingdom. She's like the third thing announced for the show. It's her, Tanahashi, and Aaron Wolf. Um, I feel like you have to do a big Saya match in front of that many eyeballs, and maybe her and Syuri is the one. I think Syuri probably gets the best match out of Saya if they can only go 10 to 15 minutes. As I said, Syuri is probably better than anybody in Stardom at condensing her match down to whatever time is needed. So I could definitely see this being their way of moving things around to do Syuri and Saya at Wrestle Kingdom because it's Tanahashi's retirement. There's never going to be this many eyeballs on a Wrestle Kingdom in the near future. So, you go all in on Saya there. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just making assumptions.
That's what we do though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a good assumption to make. I mean, we talked about Saya probably creating the Triple Crown in Stardom. We've talked about combining the IWGP and the Red Belt forever, but I think the Sari match felt like the direction. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
so we're definitely putting Saya over Sari, and she's become a Triple Crown. That's not what we're doing. But funnily enough, and I don't know if this is ultimately what the issue was. I have a feeling that it wasn't because Sari seemed very excited to have that match, and Saya is the one who deleted her tweets. But um, it is kind of funny that Shuri's like the easiest person to beat.
Yeah.
Like when they're like, we don't want to have to deal with all this, just put the belt on Shuri and she can lose. It's happened twice now this year, like in a couple months. Like that's kind of insane. Um, but that's kind of I guess her role now is to be the big bad trend. Well, not big bad, the big good, I guess. But
Mhm.
the the
The
notable
go-between.
transitional champion, kind of like a Samoa
Yeah.
Joe, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Where it's
I can
like
see it.
Samoa Joe could at any point win the world title in AEW, and truthfully, I don't think anybody should ever get mad at it. It's like it's fucking Samoa Joe. He's awesome, but
Mhm.
he'll never be the end goal. Like he'll never be the destination that they then follow through on. It's like that'll be the you know I'm describing what a transitional champion is, but you get my point. That it's like
Yeah.
a high ranking transitional champion. It's Shuri.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I do think they still want to go all in on Saya, and her having three belts in the Tokyo Dome, as I say on that Tanahashi retirement show, is probably the best way to continue her upward trajectory in terms of being a
And
star.
and hey, I mean this match, if it's any indication, it means that they're willing to give a match more than 10 minutes. I mean, it's harder to
Yeah.
get minutes on a Tokyo Dome show than it is on King of Pro
Yes.
Wrestling,
Very
but
much.
still, I foresee that being a bit more of an actual match than like well, I mean, Izumi and Mayu was a actual match this year,
Yeah.
so I don't think that's much of a worry. But
Well, I don't know. That's all that. Well, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see on the IWGP title picture. Um, in terms of news, Stardom has been ahead of themselves. They've announced a few matches for the Corkin later this month and
ooh,
the Oat Award show. So on the Stardom Nighter 2025 on October 27th, they are doing Natsuko Tora and Rocca versus Rini Yamashita and Itsuki Aoki for the Goddess of Stardom titles. Very into that match. Rini Yamashita has been one of the highlights basically every time we watch Stardom. I think, maybe Aoki and Rocca just getting in there and throwing lariats could be really fun. So I'm very into that. And they're also
likewise.
doing Mei Seira versus Waka Tsukiyama for the High Speed Championship. They have yet to say what rules that will be fought under.
Who fucking knows, man?
Um,
Um, that's actually one of my most frustrating things. Is that's like I don't know what we're doing with the high speed belt. I don't know if I should be excited. You know, what I mean,
I,
like I feel like that's just kind of where we're at with high speed belt. I don't know if I should be like, I mean, with May versus Waka, I don't expect it to be much of a classic, regardless if it has a 10-minute time limit, 2 out of 3 falls or whatever. But I'm kind of like harnessing my hopes here on
mhm.
kind of what they decide to do with the stipulations there.
All right.
Truthfully, I think Waka should win that. She shouldn't,
I think it would be
but
funny if she
but
did
like
because
from a
there's a line of
story
challenges.
standpoint and like just from like a positioning, a card positioning standpoint, Waka winning wouldn't be insane. Like it would kind of make
Mhm.
sense in a story capacity, but also like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
When the lineup of challengers is Waka Tsukiyama, Yuna Mizumori, and Hazuki, there's one wrestler
Mm,
that I would less want to have a singles title
yeah.
than the other two.
Maybe. It can be fair to Waka. She should be fun as a high speed wrestler, I think. She has all the pinfall, flash for pinfalls and stuff,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I think the and this is kind of why they need to get rid of the rule set. I think the beauty of Waka is that it's like she could have a high speed title reign that's like 3 defenses, and they have a combined time of like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be like her her role.
Yeah, just run back
Um,
to GP.
yeah, yeah, where it's like
Mhm.
she's like is constantly doing 10-second matches, 40-second matches at most. Like just kind of
Mhm.
like in and out. You can't really do that with the 2 out of 3 falls. So that's why I'm kind of like
Magic.
even
I'd
that
do away with it.
even that is like even Waka is limited by the rule set.
The other stuff that they've announced is that they've added to Stardom Crimson Nightmare. This is on November 3rd in Ota Ward, and the translation does specify it is a national holiday. So that's fun. They've added the Wonder of Stardom Championship match between Starlight Kid and Konami, and a special singles match, Bozilla versus Saki Kashima. Feud of the best feud of the company, feud of the year. Bozilla just trying to murder Saki, and Saki just being like, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to wrestle you. I don't want to wrestle ever again. Please leave me alone." um, it is very funny. It is perfect for Saki and it is perfect for Bozilla. So I'm very very fun that they've added that one.
Yeah, I think I saw it in passing in the middle of the night when I woke up. I think Saki Kashima was like pissed at Sakakurara for for like just being there and being like, yeah, just say yes. I don't know, just get her away from us, please. Uh, Saki Kashima was like, bro, what the fuck did you sign me up for?
Great.
Yeah, Kurara, why did you tell me to say yes? That's so mean. Saki didn't understand English. You knew that, didn't you? I never thought you were such a scheming little woman.
Sakigashima forever, one of the best in the company.
And then
That's our main takeaway.
Sakura went, good luck. Sorry.
She's like, I'm out of here. I don't deal with
Yeah, she's
this.
like, I am not seconding you. I'm not gonna be anywhere near that, homie. That's
It's
on you.
crazy. Um, Now we do have one show to review. Um, yeah, just the one. They don't have the number. Okay, I found the number. So on October 11th in Cork and Hall, Stardom did 1,376 fans. Down obviously from Azumi versus Saya, because that was Azumi versus Saya, and kind of in line with a lot of what they do. I think maybe for a Saturday they would be a little bit disappointed, but like, they only did a tag title match and a CMLL title match really on it, so you can't really complain too much.
Yeah, I mean, when I like turned on the show, I was like, what is even on this card?
Yeah.
And
This
I was like,
also was
oh
at
yeah,
Arse
okay.
o'clock because I was awake and it was long over, which always means it's like
Oh
ridiculously
yeah, it
early.
was middle of the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so not a
noon
great time
in
either.
Japan.
So, it all impacts the number. We started with Starlight Kid and Miyu Masaki beating Hanako and Rian in 9.5 minutes. Kid pinned Rian with the moonsault. I like some of this stuff. It was hard to get into because it's a very aimless tag. Like there's really nothing they're building to here. But I thought the work was pretty good. There's some good kid stuff in it.
Yeah, I thought it was solid enough. I've been enjoying Rion lately. I thought she's
Hmm.
been pretty decent. Um, yeah, that was it. Like I like the, the a lot of this card kind of feels like that, where it's like it happened. Um, the bigger thing was what happened after the match, obviously, which was bizarre to me personally.
Yeah, no, really the biggest thing working against that match was just that nothing was happening. Nothing was being set up or progressed or anything. It was very random. But they did well to kick us off. We then did
Oh, that
Saki
was
Kashima.
after the match. That was when Konami came out.
Oh, I forgot about that. She hit her with the flowers and was like, "Give me a title match."
Yeah,
Uh,
I legit was like that was the more interesting.
Everybody's
Uh,
really liking flowers lately. I saw
yeah, the
Suwama
Suwama
did it.
gimmick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Um,
pretty fun.
yeah. So Konami's challenging Kid again.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to preview that, but there's definitely some
Like, what do you make of that?
interesting thing. They might be doing a short switch. Konami is also one of their favorite transitional champions, and if maybe they need Kid somewhere else on Sumo Hall, they could take it off for November.
Yeah.
Just have Konami put over whoever they want.
I do think that there's some level of like part of me thinks that Suzu not being around might be the reason for this.
Yeah, they might have just got tired of waiting on Suzu.
Which she had a death match day of this
Yeah,
Korakuen.
yeah, she did that, but then hasn't been on the tours yet. So
No, and she said she's gonna be gone for a while longer.
mm,
Um yeah, I'm kinda getting annoyed.
I'm sure they are too.
If I'm
I don't
being
know.
completely honest. Like, and we'll talk about it with the is it the next match? Yeah, it is the next match. Which well, I want to finish my point. That it feels like a lot of things are falling apart without Suzu, and then Suzu on Twitter is just like, it's not that big of a deal, and I'm just like, that makes me more annoyed because it is like because it kind of is. If you want to be that guy, but it's your job. Like you're like I don't know. Like again, I don't know what's going on with her. If she has problems, take as much time as you need, but it just feels like Me Vita Loca kind of sucks uh, because it's like the most like unestablished group, and the only person who's like there to establish it is Bozilla, and I don't think Bozilla is doing a particularly good job. Um,
Mm,
and so that makes it frustrating. And that was kind of what like some fan like shot at Suzu. They were like, dude, like Bozilla's attacking everybody in your team. She's getting counted out. Mi Vida Loca kind of looks like geeks. This kind of sucks. Where the fuck are you? And Suzu's like, I can't control Bozilla. Bozilla's don't matter. Why, stop complaining. And I was like, no, that's a valid line of complaint. I'm not gonna lie here. Like, what is happening? But yeah, so I think that it's possible if they were, which I always thought they were, looking towards a Suzu Kid match, a big time one, whether it's Suzu winning the belt at Crimson Nightmare or it was just a big time defense for Starlight Kid before
mm,
she drops it at Queendom. Regardless of either one, I kind of expect, like, I think there's a very real possibility that the goal was to do that, and Suzu is not there to do that. So they're running back the Konami match. That's
yeah,
that's my theory.
yeah. There's definitely a lot of different ways it could be. Like it could be Konami v Zero to Hanan because Konami did write off Hanan. You could
Yes.
have Hanan come back and do the big baby face kind of toppling the heel thing in
I
the
mean, it could
center.
be Konami V0 to Ami. Maybe not
Yeah,
V0.
that
It could
too.
be Konami dropping Ami. It could be like Konami does offer up a few. Like Konami, shockingly, has been like the most active wrestler in the company this year.
Mm,
Like she's actually gotten gotten tangled up into like 7 different things.
yeah,
And she's not a champion. So like in a way
he's
that's
the artist
impressive, like
champion.
legitimately. Uh,
No,
but
I
you
know
know,
it's easy to forget those exist
but
sometimes,
but
but
still, but you get my point. Like she's not
yeah,
like a high ranking champion. Like it's not like yeah, Starlight Kid has had 7 feuds this year because she
mm,
had to defend the title every other month. Like that makes sense. But like Konami has really gotten herself involved in a lot of things without necessarily having a championship. So I do think that there is room for that. It would be
mhm,
crazy if she finally won the white belt 6 years after her prime. But stranger things have happened. I don't know. Um,
yes. Miki
but yeah,
Iwatani did win that belt, so
true. But yeah, that was kind of like my biggest like what is happening out of this show was the 1-2 punch of Konami being there to challenge Kid and Suzu not being there, which we'll
yeah.
talk about now.
Well, we had Saka Kurara, Kikyo Furusawa, Aya Sakura, and Saki Kashima beat Rini Yamashita, Atsuki Aoki, Bozilla and Akira Kuragane by countout. Kurara got Bozilla on the ropes and did her little thing to knock her off, and they won. And I thought it was well done because Bozilla was just kind of trying to maul Saki Kashima out in the bleachers, and then was like, "Okay, I'll get in now," and Kurara said no.
Yeah.
Like it was fun, and thought it was a well executed one. Um, and I think they set up the match after where Bozilla was like, "You were on my kill list. I'm gonna kill you, you little annoyance," which is prime Bozilla. That's where her and Saki set
I
up the
will
singles
say,
match.
uh, Mi Vida Loca, one of the only factions to like exclusively draw in Korakuen Hall, or like lose incredibly shadily. Like
Hmm.
they don't actually lose like ever in Korakuen.
Oh, that's interesting. I think this is the Bozilla effect.
Yeah, like they have never they have had they've had 3 Korakuen matches
Yeah.
and they have never been pinned or submitted.
Well, that's good because you do want to push the group. I won't say no to a nice old push.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh, they're winning.
Usually they are. They're usually not getting counted out.
Uh, the Artist Championship match, the number 1 contendership was a double count out.
So,
They won their first match. They won their third match. They won their fourth match. Double count out again. Not involved in the decision. Count out again. Like that's the cork in history of Mi Vida Loca. Um, I'm
okay.
starting to really hate this faction, and I hate it
I
because
do not.
Itsuki Aoki and Rina Yamashita are both tremendous, and I think that Akira Kuragane has good upside, and I think Bozilla is a really cool, if not novelty, wrestler. Like I still think she's really cool, but
Mhm.
I'm starting to get very frustrated by just
Uh, I don't know.
it's becoming a trend, and also they're not really like, I guess there's direction. Aoki and Rina are challenging for the tag belts, even though that comes off of them never having had a 2-on-2 match in the company. Uh, I don't know. It's just a lot of like kind of minor annoyances that don't really matter that I just kind of like all remembered as Bozilla was getting counted out, and I was like, and then I saw Suzu's tweet, and I was like, this sucks. Like I'm annoyed. Like I'm not happy about what's going on with Me Vita Loca because they should
Yeah.
be awesome. But that's my tangent.
Okay. I think that's gonna be everything you have to say about the rest of the show. 'Cause that was basically
And
it.
for a while, yeah,
Yeah. So our next one was Wakasuyama beating Emma Maishima and Mei Sarah. Waka pinned Mei in 30 seconds with her little backpack roll up thing.
that
So
was funny.
that was fun. She
The
challenged them.
Waka look, like the look on Waka's face when she won
Yes.
was priceless.
She's so funny. I know people get
Yeah,
on her a lot, but she as an actress is just as very good at expressing herself.
yeah.
And she's made for moments like that. We had a 6-on-6 tag match. Konami, Saya Kamitani, Fuki Gendeth, Rina, Momo Watanabe, and Azusa Inaba beat the team of Yuna Mizumori, Syuri Ano, Natsupoi, Yuri Ahime, Saya Ida, and Momo Kogo. Konami submit Saya Ida with a sleeper hold in 11 minutes.
She didn't even get the fucking triangle answer. That's the crazy thing.
Throughout. Definitely think there's legs to Konami dropping to Hanan. I won't lie. Um, Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a good match. It's hard to get into the hate 6-on-6. I think there's just too many bodies for anybody to stand out. But I did like some of it. Like hate won because they were the better unit. The other team, they're not used to teaming with each other, so there was little bits where they were off, and hate was just a well-oiled machine. And I think that's just smart and easy to do. So I did like that aspect where it was like, okay, hate are just better as a team than the other people across the ring from them because they aren't the same faction. They are two different factions. So there was a little bit of that worked in, which I liked.
I don't think anybody wants to hear me review this match.
Okay. They did as far as I'm aware, we had our first Momo Saya thing. during this match because Syuri Ano tried to shove them into one another and they stopped and were like, yeah, now she's not going to get us. And they were on the same page. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we've missed something on the house show loop, but that was the first time I've seen them even acknowledge that match, basically.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
I like to think if something had happened, Peps would have told me because Peps sees everything somehow. But
I mean, I feel like there's enough like
Belke would have like been
extreme
annoyed at us by
there
now and
there's
been like,
enough
why aren't you
extremely
focusing on it?
devoted Stardom fans for
Yeah.
like if something was happening, I feel like we would have been told about it. Like I see pictures of the house shows every day. I see clips of them every day, and like legit, like after this match, I was like, "Oh, they're doing a stare." And why was that stare down 10? That was like 2 seconds. What just happened? Like you can't even do a longer stare down. Again, nitpick. That's I need to stop. I need to
Yeah.
be less negative.
No, it's
But
fine. I'm
like
gonna be mean later, so you know.
like that was where I was like, you couldn't even do like a more like prolonged stare down.
Yeah.
Like y'all just looked at each other for like 2 seconds and walked away together. Like what are we like? Can what? What's happening? But yeah,
Yeah. Our next match was Syuri, Hina, and Rani Agami beating Chi-Chi, Sari, and Miku Kanai. Syuri beat Kanai with a ground style Suzaku in 10.5 minutes. This was just a nice preview for Sari versus Syuri.
yeah.
I thought there was some really fun bits in it. You know, Chi-Chi gave Syuri one of her good kicks. Miku Kanai was awesome at taking Syuri's kicks, and Syuri and Sari were like, hey, we're going to kill each other. And that was awesome.
Yeah, I would have liked a little bit more Hina in this. Shocker, I know,
Yeah.
but what Hina did do was cool. Not much, but yeah, Shuri. This was a pretty much a workout for Shuri. Here is kind of
Yeah.
killing Team
She looked
Sariism,
great. I think in it,
Sari
she
camp.
looked fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of
Yeah,
our
that was a good
last
match.
Chi-Chi matches for a while because she fractured her nose. I think
Oh
either
my
here or
god,
on an
really?
Evo show. She fractured her nose or
Fuck.
something. So not a fun time to be
Wait,
the barber.
wait. She's got to come back with the Trish status gimmick.
You're damn right she does. Sorry, I was
Hell yeah.
checking something.
I was too.
Um, our next match was for the CMLL Japan Women's Championship. Hazuki beat Koguma in 22 minutes with a brainbuster to become the 7th champion in the lineage. This was great. This was just
Yep.
they just told them to go out there and have the match of their lives, and they had the match of their lives. Like it was intense. The pace was great. They took insane bumps. The like Koguma was pulling out shit. Koguma in this match, let me tell you, I was ready to denounce Hazuki as the devil. I was like, Koguma at 100% is the better wrestler of these two. Koguma should be top 5 in any company. If somebody signs Koguma and does not give her a world title in like 2 months, I think they should be shot. She is ridiculous. Like how are you? How is she this talented and just
I mean,
doesn't show it for 99% of the year? How
yeah,
is she this talented
Hazuki
and nobody has thought to drag that out of her more often?
Hazuki did legitimately after the match say like Koguma has always been the more talented wrestler of the two of
Yeah.
us. And like she like went on like a whole like spiel about like from day one I was clumsy and Koguma wasn't. From day
Mhm.
one, like Koguma was fast and I wasn't. Like there, like she was like, there's so many things that Koguma is just is just naturally better at than I am. Uh,
Yeah.
that it's all a matter of like insanely hard work just for me to keep up and in this case beat her. And that was kind of a lot of the like I said this in like a little tweet talking to someone um that Koguma has had like 5 matches the past 4 years or so that the past 4 years that I would say were like notably great Koguma performances, and they
Mhm.
are all memorable in the Stardom catalog. Like that,
Yeah.
like it's not just like if I said, "Oh, Konami has had plenty of good performances," or "Oh, X, Y, or Z person has had plenty of good you know matches, notable good performances." I I don't know if I would look back. I don't look back as fondly on them as I do Kyrie's farewell match. you know what I mean, or uh the one the Black Desire match where Koguma won the match for the team, or this match, or like there's such specific match. I mean, fucking her versus Hameka in her first 5-star back. Like that was like her last match of the tournament. She like really, I mean, that tournament in general like is a very memorable one because Koguma did so well. Um, I don't know. It's just such a she's such a uniquely great wrestler who is hibernating. Uh, That's
Hmm.
there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. I was waiting for the laugh. Um, where who's hibernating for the majority of the year. But she is like an out of this world wrestler legitimately. And this was also a matter of Hazuki kind of wanting to show that more than anything. Like you could tell that this match was a match where like Kazuki was like, "Give me everything, and I will take it. I'll make it look good. I'll fight back. I'll do my stuff too. But like, let's let's make this the Koguma show a little bit." And I think that made this so much better than pretty much any match I've seen in Stardom in a minute. Um, Most matches I've seen this year, like in the past couple months, frankly, uh, I think post tournament season has been kind of rough for me. Like I've just been like not really into it, uh, into a lot of wrestling, frankly. Even during the tournament, I think the tournaments burnt me out a little bit. But they had good matches at least. You know, all three of
Yeah.
the ones that I watched mostly all the way through. Had a couple of great matches. I feel like since then there's been a real drought for me.
Hmm.
Uh, And this was one of those matches where it's like, yeah, I'll remember this at the end of this year. Might not be the match of the year, might not be even in my top 10, but I'll remember it. Like I'm like, this is a match that I cared about and that I thoroughly enjoyed, and that I felt like both the wrestlers cared about and thoroughly enjoyed, and it all made it so much better, knowing that it's like this is, they haven't really gotten any opportunities this year, outside of the tag title one, which came out of a power trip from a wrestler who wanted to beat her seniors and
Certainly a power
kick them
struggle
out.
anyway. Yeah.
Like, like that was where that came from. And but beyond that, they haven't really gotten the chance to do anything.
Mm.
Um, we were just talking about how they got squashed by BMI 2000 like a month ago, or 2 months ago. Like that's where we've been at. So I think all of the contributing factors to this match of just the context to it makes it all the more enjoyable and all the more meaningful, and a match that I really, really enjoyed and really liked, and really gave me that spark
Yeah.
there for 20 minutes. Didn't feel like 20 minutes. I like
No,
it
I
was
was
a it
surprised
was
to
a
be
real quick
22.
yeah, it was a real easy watch, real quick match.
Mm.
Not quick literally, but a real easy watch for sure. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, you gotta see it.
All right.
The
More than
fucking Kokuma's
anything,
headbutt,
oh, dude, yeah. Like more than
dude.
anything, I was just so happy to see Koguma do her thing because
Yeah.
Kyrie tried to do this. I remember Kyrie's entire send off was about Koguma. Like she was like, "Koguma, you are one of the
Like I
best
said,
ever." you
I
know?
vividly remember that match
Yeah.
as just like a really great one because it was like let's get Koguma some shine here, and Koguma shined like a fucking
Hmm.
star. You know,
You
those are
know,
always
I
the best matches.
we were doing the show before Koguma came back, and I remember she did the battle royal at the 10th anniversary show, and Mayu went to Tokyo Sports and was like, "She's literally the best wrestler I've ever seen in my life. I hope she comes back." And then she came back, and we were like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." But like even like your favorite wrestler thinks Koguma is a genius. You know what I mean? Like she is everybody you look
Everybody
up
thinks
to
Koguma's a
thinks
genius.
she's
Yeah,
awesome.
like
Mayu loves her. Io Shirai thinks the world of her. Kyrie thinks the world of her. Hazuki thinks the world of her. Like she is that damn talented, and it's such a shame she doesn't show it a lot. And I know that's her own choice, but like if she was this every week, she'd be wrestler of the year. She is
oh
that
yeah,
good. She's just that talented at everything. So it's great whenever you get to see Koguma do her thing, and Hazuki. We all know Hazuki at this point, but she doesn't get to show up like this a lot. So it was great to just get to see her do her thing again in a single setting. So this was great, and it was just a nice reminder of what these two can do and just how
I mean,
valuable they could be to anybody.
I feel like I mean, you could just look at it like there's a lot of evidence that Koguma is better than pretty much anybody gives her credit for. I mean, she a big like thing I point to is her what's it called? Her tournament last year. Her 5-star. She wasn't in it this year, obviously. FWC wasn't. But like last year was a really weird fucking tournament for 3 of the 4 blocks.
Yeah,
Um, but Koguma's block, like she consistently, even though she was in usually the second match of the card, like her matches very rarely mattered. Um, she was pretty consistently like goaded in that tournament. Like that, like she had a very good perform. Like she just is good when she's asked to be good. And
yeah,
I think that's like one of the most valuable things you can have from a wrestler. Um, and when she's asked to be great, she's yeah, like a world class caliber wrestler. Yeah, that's my take.
now, I think that's enough of us waxing lyrical about FWC. We should probably get on to the main event, which saw Natsuko Tora and Rocca defend the tag championships against Ami Sourei and Lady C. Natsuko Tora got the win for her team in 19.5 minutes with a swanton bomb. Um, I quite liked this. It was a very good match. I think they were held back by the crowd a little bit. We didn't really talk much about it. I thought the crowd for this show was a lot worse than the recent Stardom
Bad
shows. Like they're usually
bad
way more hot.
weekend for Korakuen crowds.
Yeah,
'Cause I thought the
very.
Marigold crowd was also pretty
They
bad.
sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, compared to what Stardom has been getting, they've been getting fairly eager crowds most of the year. This one was kind of dragged kicking and screaming into some stuff. And they really didn't give this match the respect it deserved. So I think that held it back a little bit, but it was still very good. I like the Ami Rocca stuff. I like Natsuko Tora being in her Jeff Hardy era. I like the Lady C getting a big spot in the match. I think everybody played their part quite well. So I really enjoyed it, but definitely I think the crowd let it down.
Yeah, I felt like this fell a bit flatter than I was hoping. I still thought it was a good match, a pretty, definitely a above average match, a fun one. But I did think that there would be a bit more to it, I guess, because I did like what we got from Ami and Ruaka, but I also felt like I don't know. I think the end of the match it was 19 minutes, so I think the issue with me was just that like it felt like it was a lot of like one thing, and then it turned into the shenanigans finish. Um, I felt like there was definitely like another gear for it to get to that it never really
Mm,
did, and I think that all of them were capable of doing that.
yeah.
Maybe it was just the way they kind of laid it out or formatted it that they weren't able to get there, but it was a bit disappointing in that sense. Did think that everybody was good in it. I did sense, and this is, you know, again, maybe it's me reading into something. We like doing that here. Uh, I did sense after having watched her for uh, 7 years now, um, that Natsuko is going back into a little bit of her. Okay, I'm going to slow down just a tiny bit after having a very good tournament and very good tag title match, to win the belt, and just being very good. For the past few months. Um, I did sense in this match that she was like, okay, I'm comfortable taking the back seat to everybody else in this match until the finish. And I was like, that's not what I wanted to see after getting so excited for you having a belt. Please don't do that to me. Um, but I think it's a bit early to call that out actively. But that was just sort of something that I uh, got a bit worried about. A little notice, a
Okay.
tiny little, you know, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I thought it was a good match though. Finish was what the finish was. I think just there's something about the way Hate does these finishes that sometimes it annoys me more than others. I didn't think this was particularly annoying, but it was a bit like uh, disruptive. I felt like it disrupted the flow, and like I said, I felt like the match didn't really build strongly enough to like a really cool finish, and then it got taken away. And it's like, oh, that's heel heat. It more so was like, oh, and then it just whimpered. Uh, so I thought that was to its detriment a little bit, but the actual work itself for the 18 minutes of just straight up wrestling was good. If not, you know, as great as I want it to be, because I do like all these wrestlers. And I think Ami's been great lately.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, there was definitely something missing, but
Yes,
I
yeah. I
definitely
think the
blame the
crowd is
crowd a
also a
little
good
bit
shout.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, Now on the preview front, there's nothing we can discuss because there is a New Blood show on the 17th, but there's no matches announced for it yet. This is in the Azalea Taisho Hall, which I think is the one I like. It's that like round venue with the wooden fixtures in Osaka, so very very good to be me. There's also the Starlight Kid produce show next Monday, but again, I think she's only announced like 90% of one of the tags, not a full card.
It's
Uh,
her, Dragon, and Despe versus Kyoko and Noe.
Shingo Takagi, an
Somebody,
X.
Shingo Takagi and X. Yeah,
Yeah, that's I think
interesting
all that's
match.
been announced.
Shingo
Even more
Takagi of the
important
Bullet
though,
Club War Dogs.
yes, on the 19th of October, by the way, guys, this is a match I'm very excited for. Oz Academy Yokohama Budokan. It is Hate versus the Dangerous Alliance. If Ozaki loses, she has to join Hate apparently. So
Yeah.
that is going to be a hot main event. Ozaki, if you've never seen her in her
Who
own playground, she is treated like a god.
who's the
So
Oz champ right now?
uh, I think it's Ano.
Because Koguma stole the belt like 2 months ago,
I think that
like
was the
physically.
tag belts. They
Who's the
challenged for the
tag
tag belts.
champions right now?
It was the limit Phantom Limit thing. It's the faction Ano.
Hiroyo and Zones are the tag team champions in Ozcat.
Oh. Well, yeah, actually, because they challenged already the FWC. They lost to Kato, I think. And yes,
That
Syuri
sounds
Ano is the Oz Academy openweight champion.
okay.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Uh,
Either way,
I
this is Ozaki's
think
playground.
I do think that Ruaka stole Ano's belt.
Okay,
So
Rocka. Yeah, Rocka. You said Koguma the first time. Rocka
did
stole.
I? Oh no,
Yes,
that was wrong. That's my bad.
Rocka did steal the belt, but I imagine they got
Yeah.
it back.
No, I don't think they did. Like she's posted pictures
Really?
like sleeping on it and shit.
Oh, okay,
Um,
great. Well
so I
then,
think
Rocka versus
I
Ano
think
next month is
Ozaki, yeah, I think Ozaki wins this obviously, and then I think Ruaka and Ano, and maybe like a comeback, a return match for Natsuko versus Ozaki.
yeah.
Like I think that'll probably be what they do at Corkin before the end of the year.
Either way, though, this is
Like
the peak.
those
This is the
matches.
big. This is the big Oz Academy show of the year. It's in the Yokohama Budokan, so this is like their WrestleMania. Um, yeah, Ozaki is going to be over as fuck against Hate, so
So
this is going to be fantastic.
this is a 4-on-4.
Yes, 4v4. And
So
weirdly, I think it's Yumi Oka is wrestling and Mayuki
and
is.
yeah, Yuki's off. She's the diva
Yeah,
of the match, as are Momo and Konami for some reason.
yeah,
Um, well, actually, I guess for some reason because it makes it easy. Like it's easier to pin Rina Ruaka
yes.
or Natsuko than it is to pin Momo and Konami, the two challengers
Title
right now.
challengers, yeah.
Yeah,
Either way, I just brought that up because that's
interesting
a
match for
match I'm
sure.
really really looking forward to. I think it could
Yeah.
be fantastic. Um, that's all for Stardom. We can't preview what we don't have, but we will review the New Blood show next week. And
Yeah, I'm gonna go check
look
on my
ahead
dog
to
real
the
quick.
video. Okay, have fun. All right, well, we will be back, of course, next week to discuss anything from Stardom. But with that, it is time to go on to Marigold. Newsworthy week in Marigold's universe. We had the announced card for the Sumo Hall show, including some interesting stuff, to say the least. So, the card order based on Scott's tweet is Shino versus Kazuna opening with their mothers as seconds, which I didn't know.
Yes.
He
Yeah, I
has
did
just
not know
put
that.
gauntlet tag, which
Oh,
doesn't
do you
help
not know
because
that
there's like 15 teams in
there
this
are plenty of
gauntlet tag.
teams? Wait, who is
Um,
he?
Scott,
Yeah.
I'm using his tweet. But the gauntlet tag is notable because it features the first appearance of a new wrestler whose name I should
Quotations.
have pulled up by now.
Shioko Ka something. Shioko with a Y specifically.
Yeah, so this is where I'm confused because her socials are Sioko with a Y,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure the match graphic from Marigold had Shoko
Yeah.
as
Well, okay, so
SH.
you see, it's the same thing.
Oh, right, so it's like Syuri. It's the
Yes,
reverse Syuri.
Shuri is SHURI, but nobody spells it like that because fuck you
Yeah.
if you spell it. You know, it's SY.
Okay.
So yeah, stylistically, it's Shoko Koshino. Um,
Ah, okay. Yeah, I've actually got the thing. They have it up on the
as
website.
do I. And to be
So,
fair, this little match card is full of little errors. So it's
oh,
fine.
of course.
3.
So the teams are Naoshikawa and Hummingbird,
Mhm.
Chanyota and Arina Yamanaka, Minami Yuki and Nagisa Tachibana, Komomo Minami and Yuka Yamazaki, and then Shoko Kushino and To Be Announced, and Nagisa Nozaki and Rhea Seto. So they've confirmed that To Be Announced will be on the day of the show. So this is going to be a surprise.
Hmm.
It's led me to think it's Jungle Kiona because she's doing a fan event in Tokyo that day. And it's not that like I think she's this huge surprise, but if you're gonna give her a way to ease back, a big tag gauntlet where she can just get in for 3 minutes seems very
See,
useful.
I thought that, but they already announced that she has an exhibition match happening next month, and that's her next
Right.
appearance in Marigold,
Okay.
in Nagoya, obviously. So yeah, I don't think it's her. Um, it's actually really interesting because I have no clue. Because Shoko, for those who don't know, uh, sorry to break kayfabe here, is Flying Penguin. Um, you could see her match graphic. It's literally her wearing the Flying Penguin gear
Yes.
without the mask on. So like part of me was like, oh, it'll be like Momoka Hanazono or someone from Osaka, somebody. But then I was like, who like Kagetsu? Like I don't think I don't
Maybe
think
it's
he's
just yeah,
showing up.
maybe it is just Hanazono because
I was thinking Hanazono. Maybe it's like they don't know if they can get Hanazono, so there's kind of like putting in a yes, the door is open. My mom just came up to my window and just stared in as we have to do it. Sorry. Um it's a funny visual. It's fine. Um but yeah, so I feel like Hanazono is the easiest one to qualify. You know what I mean? Like it would make the most sense, and maybe they just like aren't for sure. Oh damn. Okay, Molly. Maybe they just aren't sure that she's gonna be there, but
yeah,
I don't really know because this is the one that like I am the least like I have the least clue. In part because it doesn't have a letter in front of it.
yeah, it's also like she's brand new, so who the hell would she debut against or debut with? Sorry, like, there's no obvious team
Yeah,
there
because like
outside of Hanazono unless they're getting some random 2.5 girl. But
it's
like,
gonna be the return of Yuki Mashiro for some reason.
yeah, maybe it's Ryoko. I saw her pop up back up recently. Uh, Ryoko
That's
Sakamura. She was on Uptown.
she
You know.
popped up failing a tryout.
Oh right, okay. Probably not. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, either way, that's the gauntlet tag. That is our
I'm
new
I'm I'm
signing.
looking at
Flying
I'm looking
Penguin
at
slash Sioko.
Flying Penguins. I think it's Mari Manji. They've wrestled.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I
they,
like
they
that
actually
movie.
they wrestled frequently.
Okay, maybe it's her. Yeah, Shoko Kushino, and this is
Someone
the
like random like that.
Kyoko is weird because she vaguely looks like Mai Sakurai, and I can't get it out of my head. I'm like, every time I see Syoko Kushino, I'm like,
I could see
you
it,
look like at least three different people, and it is driving me insane.
bro.
Uh,
There was an
oh,
Ancham versus Flying Penguin UWF rules match in Glate this year.
that sounds insane.
I'm watching that.
Of course you are. Anyway, Megaton gets a singles match on this show. She takes on M, which
Mhm.
is a mystery guest to be announced at a later date. Great way to announce your full card is with mysteries, but I truly have no idea. It would be funny if it was
Um,
Mirai, just immediately
I'd
back.
be here for it.
Um, I don't know.
I'm
People
already
have been
missing her.
guessing, but I don't really have a solid grasp on who they could bring in to face their comedy jobber. You know?
Um, so
Oh,
the
it's Mercedes
thing
Monet. Oh,
that would be so fire.
that's her latest dream match.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe it's like a foreigner.
Yeah, could be.
Because like I've just been thinking like, oh, who starts with an M in Japan, but it's like it might just be a foreigner. See,
Mhm.
the thing is that because I have worked myself into thinking that Chikugoto is facing Saori, um, I think these letters mean something.
Mm.
However, this is I think it's just a sex joke
Oh, okay.
because S and M mean
Oh
submissive and
god.
dominant.
It's
In Japanese, like that's like a famous thing, like S
I
and
know,
M.
but still.
Like I think it might just be a sex joke.
Okay.
Like these letters might not mean nothing. They just wanted to do a little,
I don't
get a
know.
little tee hee.
Rossi is not like that. He wouldn't do SMTBA. I feel like he would
See,
have
but
kept it
like
going.
the thing is that I think, especially now that she lost the belt, I think Saori would make sense, and there are so many S's in the wrestling world that would make sense to be like to have like a big appearance against Chikugoto in like a hard fought singles match. Who the
Mm.
fuck is a comedy M? You know what I mean? Like
Mother
I don't
Hirota. I don't know.
Mother Hirota.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
if it was Saka Hirota, shit. Like
Pretty cool.
maybe it's Devil Masami.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. Why not?
like
Or do
that's
some
where I'm at.
Magayo. you
Like
know, I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't matter ultimately. It's Megaton.
I'm about
Um,
to look up the letter M in cage match.
yeah. So Chikugoto versus S. You ruined my bit because I was gonna say this is either Sari or they got in Seth Freakin. Because Chikugoto
Seth
was like,
Freakin apparently like broke his shoulder, so I don't think it's him.
yes. So they're gonna have to go for the pivot plan. Because Chikugoto was like, my opponent is like international superstar S, and I was like, it's so funny if I just pretend this is gonna be Seth Rollins, but I can't anymore because he's injured. So fuck you, Seth. Yeah, Sari makes a lot of sense. If
It's
they
Shoko
rushed me,
Nakajima.
maybe Sari was like, "Hey, I'm gonna wrestle a Marigold," and they were like, "We're getting that belt the fuck off you." Like, you never know. So yeah, I don't know. S could be Sari. I don't think that would be too bad. Her and Chico would have be actually be a very fun match. So be a good time. Um, Twin Star title match: Riko Kawahata and Maria defend against Misa Matsui and Chiaki. We already knew that. We actually already knew the rest of the card. It was Seri Yamaoka versus Chiro Hashimoto, Mai Sakurai versus Victoria Yuzuki, Utami versus Miku Aono, and the new kind of thing is that the main event is the Dream Destiny Mayu Iwatani versus Io Sky. So they did go with Mayu versus Io as the main event. I've seen some people complain, but really, like, this is a generational dream match. Mayu and Io defined a decade for Joshi wrestling. It's very hard to get anything going on after that as the main event. Like, there's nothing against Utami and Miku Ono. They're not Io Shirai. Io was a bright spark in a scene that was not doing well back then, and I think her and Mayu kind of deserve this main event spot for everything they've done together and just for Joshi in general. So yeah, I think he made the right choice there.
Yeah, I mean, I've long said that I think Utami works best when she has a chip on her shoulder and is in the semi-main event, which is why it's kind of funny they keep putting the world title on her, um,
Yes.
instead of the white belt, which would be perfect for her stylistically. Um, but yeah, no, I think it's a fitting main event. I do kind of like question like putting EO over in the main event of your biggest show like that. That's the part where I'm more like it's a bit eh. Like it's not the match itself. I think the match itself is deserving of the main event, but given the fact that it's like damn near impossible for EO to lose that match,
Yeah.
um, I think that's a bit of a downer for me. Uh, just as somebody who like, I think it would be valid for people to be like Marigold closing its show with a WWE wrestler beating their top star and main eventing it. That's a bit that feels a bit
I don't know.
like
Call
they've
me call
been.
me a nostalgia freak, but I truly don't think it
No, I'll
matters
call
if
you
it's
a
Mirai.
fad. Like
Like
you're a
it is EO. Sure, like this is Rossi's greatest creation. You know what I mean? Like these are his
yes.
two like prime golden stars. You know what I mean? That still talk to him because obviously Ajo was probably his first. Um,
Well, I
but
mean
like these are
they're still wrestling.
yeah, yeah. Like these are the two, and I don't think it matters if Mayu and Io have go out there and have the match that you'd expect them to have. I just don't think it'll matter. You know, Marigold will get the bump either way. Nobody's gonna suddenly go, "Ah, Mayu sucks." Like she's Mayu, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Look,
don't think it matters.
it is more. It's not something that actually matters. But it is something that I expect to sow discourse amongst the
Everything's so discourse because
people.
people just want
Correct.
to like people who watch AEW just want to shit on Marigold all the time. Like this is of course it's gonna be discourse, not genuine. Um, yeah, that's all for the
Did you see
news.
somebody got mad at Mayu for promoting the match
Yeah,
and
dude,
being
I
like,
was
"I beg y'all to come see. This is gonna be my magnum opus. We
it's
are all gonna
insane.
try our fucking asses off. It's gonna be awesome. Please show up. It'll be a big day." And somebody's like, "Look at her promoting her match. Lol." It's like, what the
It's
fuck are
crazy.
you talking about?
Same person probably
She's
said nothing when Saya Kamitani was like begging TV viewers to watch Stardom. Like, Stardom was literally like she was on there like this is my entire bio. This is all my matches. Like, please come watch me. And they probably said nothing. So
it's just it's silly, especially from someone who like everybody kind of assumes either currently has or will have like stake in this company. Like it's like of course she wants people to show up to the fucking show. She's probably gonna own the company in a couple years. Like shocker.
I'm gonna run the place. Face that runs
Yeah,
the place.
that's
But
my
yeah, that's all the news. We have two shows to review. I think we'll just run through the first one though. There wasn't really much to say. This was on the 11th in the Osaka 176 box. They did a sellout, 403 fans here. Maybe time to upgrade
they've
the
been
venue
doing
in Osaka.
yeah, they've been
It
doing
looks,
great in
yeah.
like non-Tokyo. They've been doing
Mm,
good in Tokyo too, but like really they're fucking constantly traveling
mm,
methodology has finally like started paying off
yeah.
because they're getting a lot of sponsor shows. They're selling pretty well in these small venues, like
Mm,
all the homecoming shows coming up and stuff. It's working. It did not work in the first 6 months.
no,
We remember, but it is
no,
very
no.
much working now. In fact, I was just talking to somebody yesterday because they were like, remember when they made the hard cam on the side of the glass in KBS Hall? And I was like, in hindsight, they definitely did that because they didn't sell that many tickets and they didn't like they wanted people to be able to see the glass, but didn't have enough people on hard cam side just from a like they were doing very poor in Kyoto at that time. So that's probably why they did it. Um and stuff like that. So it is nice to see it kind of turn around and them be selling out Osaka box and all these other,
Yeah, I hate the box.
places.
I want them to move Daddy on
I think the
too.
box is
I
pretty
think they should
weak,
move
yeah.
Daddy on too. And just upgrade here in Osaka
What
because the box stinks.
what did they do in Edion too? Or
Did they run there?
keep going.
I
Yeah,
didn't think
they've
they
run
ran
there
there.
a few times.
Oh, why do
They've
they
run
do
it
the box
every
sometimes?
they run it for the
Oh,
Dreamstar.
the tournament. Yeah, that's true. Well, think they did okay. I think they did 500-ish this year. But
Morning show did 600.
yeah. Okay.
Afternoon show did 600. Yeah,
Okay. So they should
10
just
people off.
run Eddie on number 2, pretty
Probably.
much. Yeah. Okay. Well, this show opened with Naoshikawa beating Megaton and Rei Sato in 7 minutes. If you've watched one of these Megaton 3-way comedy matches, you've kind
I've
of
seen them
seen
all.
all of her shtick.
Yeah.
And then the other two are just kind of anonymous. But Naoshikawa winning, that's kind of cool. I feel like she's been winning more
Mhm.
lately, so maybe we're finally gonna hear up for something. Maybe she loses a Superfly match. Maybe she loses a Twin Star challenge. Who the hell knows? Um,
Well,
Chiki
yeah, I
Goto,
love how her being set up for something is losing something of note for once.
yes, gotta take the W's as they come. Chiki Goto and Minami Yuki beat Komomo Minami and Nagisa Tachibana in 9.5 minutes. This is a tidy little match. The finish
Yeah, I
got
liked it.
fucked because Chika pinned Minami. Tachibana tripped, broke it up anyway, and then the referee counted 3 regardless.
Well, no,
So,
that no. I don't think it was fucked up. I think that it was like fingertips away,
no,
just
she
missed.
literally had her hand on Goto, and the referee was staring at it and just went, "Nope, 3." So,
That's the
yeah,
beauty of counting falls as a shoot.
hell yeah. But yeah, it was a tidy match. I liked the Yuki and Tachibana stuff. They just kind of very natural rivals because they
Yeah,
came from the agency.
Go Chica has a new theme song. It's the same theme song, but now sometimes when she doesn't want to do the say no, the this way that way,
Yeah.
it just says it at the beginning of the song.
Oh, I didn't
So
realize.
like after this match when she won, instead of the song starting where it usually starts, it starts with her saying "Say no, Achka, Kochka, Kochka," and then the song starts. Um, so it does. So she doesn't have to awkwardly do it like 20 seconds into her celebrating her win.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the MIRAI gauntlet when she was like just kind of rushing to the ring. They
Mm.
started with the tagline.
That's good. That's a good tweak. I like it. I didn't listen to it. I skip through the entrances more often than not, but it's my cardinal sin.
It
Um,
happens.
our next match was Chiaki and Nisa Matsui beating Flying Penguin and Hummingbird. I got halfway through this and skipped it.
That's
Chiaki was
fair.
like standing on Hummingbird's head after 4 minutes of heat, and I just went, "I life is too short. I can't do this."
Yeah,
Um,
Hummingbird had a better performance than the MIRAI gauntlet.
yes. So did Penguin.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Mika Ono, Seri Yamaoka, Victoria Yuzuki, and Yuka Yamazaki beat Kazuna Tanaka, Mai Sakurai, Shino, and Utami Hayashishita in 14 minutes. Mika Ono pinned Utami with the 1 second X to get the win for her team. This is a very good preview tag. Again, I think Mai Sakurai and Victoria Yuzuki have reached another level with these previews. Like Yuzuki has a real like killer intent and like a real anger there that she didn't used to have. Like she used to be a wrestler going through the motions, whereas now it feels like she genuinely wants to hurt people. I think it's a much better. It's
We
much more
hurt
enjoyable to me.
people.
It's much more enjoyable to me as a viewer. Like her just scowling while she's trying to do everything to Mai Sakurai is fantastic. Mai has just gone full Julia. Like she is literally just embodying Julia
Easy.
in the build up to this match, and it's really cool. Um, Shino was great. I'm gonna praise Shino for the Korakuen later,
Yeah.
but Miku Ono as well. I think this match I watched it and I just went, she is wrestling out of her fucking mind. Like we know Miku Ono is good, but I think since the previews have started, she's gone up another level to the point where I think she's far and away the best wrestler in the company. Even Mayu at her current output isn't close to what Iono is doing. She's just insane right now. And it's kind of unfortunate for Utami because she's being left in the dust by somebody who is putting on
Well,
S tier performances literally
well,
every
you
night.
see, I don't know if you remember this, but Utami's bread and butter is giving other people their best performance. Like that's kind of what
Yeah,
she
yeah.
does for a
Copium.
living.
Copium.
It's not copium. That's literally just what she does.
Copium.
Also, she had a better
Yeah.
performance on the Cork and the Miku, so cry about it. Like, sorry, Osaka Box. Osaka Box. Yeah, she was taking a back seat to her challenger, but like, fucking the match that actually mattered, she wasn't so much. So, I don't know why you're always bitching about Utami.
I'm
You know,
not.
you
I'm
would
just
kill
saying.
yourself
I'm
if you
just
watched New
saying.
Japan Pro Wrestling, because like
All I'm
you
saying is
talk
that
about these
Iono is
prelim
out of
matches
her
and how
mind,
it's like they aren't
and
trying hard enough. The ace isn't trying hard enough in the 4-on-4 match. It's like what the fuck? It's Osaka box, brother. What are you talking about? Who
also I
cares?
do hate New Japan. I used to watch it, and it was so bad that I stopped. So that is a very bad comparison. 'Cause I
No, but it's
literally do hate New Japan and stopped watching
no,
it.
but my point is that the formula of having people having the
Well, no,
ace
because
not
this.
go fucking 120% in the
Listen,
Osaka
all I'm
prelim
saying
match,
is
one of 4 prelim
Yuka
matches they're doing
Iono.
within 2 weeks. Like, shocker. Do you want here?
All right.
Like, and it's not even like she's doing bad. Like,
I know. I
I've
didn't
seen
say she was
wrestlers
doing bad.
actually
I didn't
phone
say
it
she
in.
was bad. I didn't say she
I've
was doing bad.
see,
I just
okay, you know
said
what?
Yuka Iono is S
I'm
tier.
sounding like a
I said S
psychopath.
tier.
You have been on this shit for fucking days. This is not like something that started on this show.
I
So if
watched
you
the
guys
show
think
today,
I'm
so how has this been days?
because you said it about the last
Show on
prelim match
today.
too. If you guys think I'm overreacting here, it's because this motherfucker has been talking shit on Utami for the past week and a half, and I'm getting kind of tired of it. Right before we started this recording, Velke added me in a Discord and said, "Hey Dylan, you got to
Jesus
defend your
Christ.
girl. What happened
This
to the Utami Respect Army, huh? What happened to
this
the
gets
Utami Respect
55.
Army? You got to get in
This
here."
gets
And so I
55.
got in there, and you didn't respond. So I'm responding to you now, so you can hear it. How fucking dare you? I'm tired of it.
You just need to
I'm
stop
tired of it.
shooting for the most middling world champion in Joshi. That's
You
all I'm
need
gonna
to
say.
shut the fuck up. That's what you need to do.
Dude, she can't even get main events of the big shows. I
She
don't
don't
know.
need the main event. Okay, no. I'm fucking tired.
Saya
No, you
Kamitani's getting
just
main
said
events.
the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah,
Let's talk about
yeah,
Mariah.
see. Anyway, yeah. Do you have any
The
thoughts on the
last
match?
time that
The
we're gonna
the
get to talk about
final.
Mariah. Uh, it was another very good preview tag.
Okay.
I felt like basically everybody had a better performance on the Korakuen. So it's like I don't really
Kind of.
not everybody
No,
like
Yuzuki and Mai, I think we're better here.
yes, no, you're
Feel a
right.
lot more focused.
But
They even
yeah,
wrestle each
they
other
were
on.
more
No, they didn't wrestle each other
no.
on the thing anyway. So yeah, that explains it.
Correct. But like, but Mai and Yuzuki have been doing the same very good thing the past weeks, like or 2 weeks. So it's like, yeah, it was good. Shocker. Um, yeah, but I felt like this was, especially because I watched it today because it just went up yesterday. I felt like this was like very clearly like, okay, this is the match before we all do something more notable tomorrow, basically. Um,
Okay.
except for like you said, Yuzuki and Mai, who took advantage of it and had a good outing here.
Okay. We then had the MIRAI gauntlet. I guess we'll just go through these kind of one by one. There's not a lot to say about most of them. She started with a time limit draw with Komomo Minami. Um, this was at her most fresh. They did good stuff. Komomo pinned her in the tag recently, so she didn't really need the win here as well.
Yeah.
Mirai and Yuki Yamazaki, they had a minute-long sequence, and it was good. It was pretty fun, very emotional.
Yeah, I really do feel bad for Yuki Yamazaki specifically. She
Yeah.
came in kind of as like Mirai's child, and now her mom's abandoning her like 2 months in. Like that's just crazy.
Well, there's always a
2 months,
spot in
5 months
Darkness
still.
Revolution for you, Yuka. You can
Yeah.
join us anytime. Um, Mariah Nagisa Tachibana happened.
She,
It was
yeah.
also a draw, by the way. Uh,
I was trying to remember if Tachibana did something cool in this match or if she did it in like
yeah, not
one of the other
nothing
matches
major.
I watched her in. But yeah, she's cool. I
Mariah,
think Tachibana's cool.
yeah, Mariah and Hummingbird went to a draw as well. They did a lot of chops.
Yeah,
A lot of intensity in the chops. Hummingbird
I
was like had her
appreciated.
backed up in the corner by the end.
Yeah, Hummingbird like on Twitter has been constantly tweeting like, "Please let me wrestle Mirai before she leaves. I've never gotten to wrestle her, and she is my favorite training partner, and I love her. Please let me train, or please let me wrestle her." And she finally
Wow.
did, and they chopped each other, and it was fun.
Hmm.
They both looked like they were having a good time. In fact, Hummingbird mentioned that she started going to the same trainer as Mirai because she wanted to be
Cool.
as strong and fearless and competent as Mirai was, because she
Crazy.
admired her so much. So that's why I mean, like, we'll talk about it.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
we will. Mariah and Flying Penguin, they had a minute-long draw because they sang during it. That was
That
fun.
was so good. I
Yeah.
love that so much. Oh, man, and,
I learned a bit of
Mariah's a
Japanese
fucking
there.
beautiful singer.
It's very good, actually. Penguin is, like, really good as well. She's
Obviously,
got
Flying Penguin's a very good
very
singer,
good
she is a
control.
professional singer, but she sings the Dragon Dies theme song. I'm sure you didn't know that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's like
new.
famously, like, before she even became a wrestler, she made that song,
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
or before she was regularly a wrestler, at least. I don't know.
The next one I think we can do is a three-part. Mirai, Rei Seto, Chiaki, and Misa Matsui. They went one after the other. She drew with Seto and Chiaki, but Misa Matsui actually got a pinfall victory over Mirai. There's a lot of Darkness Revolution kind of heel shenanigans. They put a Darkness Rev shirt
T-shirt
on
on her,
Mirai.
and then over her head, Mariah
Yeah,
was, like, fucking, like, flailing because she couldn't see. I thought that was a bit
yeah. So there was a lot of like shenanigans, and then Misa Matsui had the real match and got the pin because
yeah.
they're eventually going to push Misa Matsui. I know we kind of forget about her a lot, but they will eventually. They do like her. Mariah and Naoshikawa went to a minute-long draw. This was cool because
I
now it was like, let's
loved
do
this.
shooter shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, sh shocker here, Now's been there from the jump,
yeah.
and there was definitely like, uh, the company started with very much heavy on the grappling. I mean, they
Hmm.
were using LPW's gym. Mirai was leading sessions, and Nanai was as well. So it's like they were obviously very strong on like we're doing a lot of sparring, and
Yeah,
Julia too. Julia was also leading sessions, and you know how Julia loved pretending like she knew how to grapple. Um, and I'm kidding, she was fine, but uh, so I think that kind of like called back to just the. It's funny to say this because we're fucking 18 months in, but the roots of Marigold in a way of them just like fucking going full tilt, grappling, sparring for a minute, and it was a lot of fun. I thought it was really. It actually made me think like, you know, now Shikawa is much more multifaceted than anybody gives her credit for. But especially than they give her credit for, because it's like she did great against Mariah. Like she looked really good. Like she could just do that. That's awesome.
yeah, that's true. Mariah and Kazuna Tanaka also did a minute-long draw. I don't actually
Yep.
remember anything from
Kazuna
this one.
kicked her in the face
That she did,
and got
yes.
her in her
Yeah,
armbar.
that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mariah
Kazuna
went
was.
for Mariah went for something. I think like the Olympic slam, and Kazuna
Mm,
just slammed her to the mat and got her in the armbar as she does.
this is when Mariah started to like get her ass beat.
Yeah, she was getting tired.
And Mariah and Yuki Minami also did the minute-long draw. You know, it's most common result.
Don't remember that
Yeah.
one at all. Yeah, so
Um, Mirai submit Megaton in 33 seconds.
that was a
Megaton
good
was
bit.
like, "Hey, I'll put me in a submission," and Mirai did, and she tapped immediately. Mirai was like, "What? Why did you ask for that then?" But it was fun. Mirai and Shino did the minute-long draw. This is cool. Shino blasted
Shino
out
is
some
so
kicks.
fucking good in these gauntlet matches. Like just like
Shino is going to be
you
the
get
best wrestler
60
in this
seconds,
company's
just
history.
fucking go crazy. And
I
she
get
knows
such
exactly what
like
to put into
the
those minutes.
legendary vibes off of Shino.
You
I
get
haven't felt
legendary
this way
vibes off
since
her.
watching I haven't felt this way about a wrestler since watching like Arisa Hoshiki. She gives me big Arisa Hoshiki energy, which is
You know,
fantastic.
I could see it. I mean, like
Uh,
I think I was talking to Scott, and he said if all things like go according to plan, I think that like if she doesn't like retire early, as in or anything like that, I think she'll probably be like the best of Marigold. Like she'll be like the top
yeah,
star in Marigold's early history. Um,
for sure.
depending on how long Marigold goes on. And I was like, it's not insane to say that even. She's pretty awesome. But
Um,
we'll have more praise for her and the
yeah.
Korakuen as well.
Mariah and Koki wrestled to a 1 minute draw. This was
I
fun
love
because
this. I
Koki got
love
in
this.
and booted her and was like, "You can't hit me. I have a bad arm. You can't hit me." And then gave her another boot while she was distracted. It's like
Oh man,
so fun.
it's like that tweet where it's like it's like me when I start shit with someone and then go, "Oh no, I'm just a little guy. I'm the birthday boy. You can't hit the birthday boy. I'm just a little birthday boy. You can't hit me. What do you mean you want to fight me? I'm the little birthday boy." And it's like you started it.
Little guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Koki was pulling that. We talked about off air. Koki in street clothes, way more
Dude,
aura.
He needs this
way
vibe a
cooler.
lot more. The dark hair,
Yeah.
the cool pants, the darker hoodie. Like, why aren't you
Like,
doing this
I know
more often?
that not everybody can, like, do Aoi, but why isn't she just Aoi?
Yeah, because we have seen her succeed as
Like,
this.
she
She got
yeah, like,
her
she
buzz
has
and
done
access
that, like, she
from
has done the
doing,
Aoi,
yeah, for
uh,
her
look.
drag idol stuff, her alternative drag idol. That was why everybody loved her. And now she's just generic tall pretty lady, which is fine, but like there's
I
something
think
there
she's
to be
like, it's
pulled
funny
in.
because I love the color purple. I think purple's my favorite color. You don't need to be wearing purple, homegirl.
No, she does not.
You can bring out some of the darker tones. Not
She
even
should
if
be
you're a he
Saya.
like
Be Saya
like
Kamitani.
she doesn't have to be
Be
Saka.
Saya
But I mean,
Kamitani.
like
That's
even
all.
like silver or like just like go with something like a bit more muted. I don't want to
Mm,
see you like I just don't think her gear and her look fits.
no.
Especially when you look at this and she looks way more cool and natural.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's see who was next. Chika Goto. They did a 1 minute draw as well. Chika gave her the swing.
Yeah, that's it.
Mirai and Yuzuki did the 1 minute draw, and they did things.
Yeah.
Seri was the second and last person to get a pin over Mirai. She pinned her in 16 seconds. She like very quickly dumped her down and rolled her into the pin. So that's kind of your
I
purposeful
think it's really
two who
cool.
got wins over
Yeah.
Mirai. You know, Seri obviously is somebody they're very high on. Misamatsu is somebody they're very high on, and then Komomo in one of the
And
tags.
Misamatsui is also someone that Mirai specifically is very high on,
Yeah, that's true.
obviously.
So you
So
know,
yeah.
Mirai and Aono did a 1 minute long draw. They kind of did a lot of the standard stuff, the kicks, and then they tried to do like counter sequences towards the
They
end
they
that they timed
they
badly.
tried to do like their old school uh, arm versus leg
Yeah,
stuff that worked super well in their first couple matches, but has not worked well at all this year
no,
specifically for some reason. Like they just
very
forgot how to
weirdly
do it.
fucking. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Mirai and Utami also did the 1 minute long draw. This started with them hugging, and then Utami threw her on the ground and was like, "I'm here to wrestle." You know.
Yeah.
Then yeah, we ended with Mirai and Mai Sakurai, kind of the only place you can with the also the 1 minute draw.
And my Sakurai got the visual with the Glorious driver. A little
Yeah,
shout out from Julia.
oh yeah. So that was our send off. Kind of these matches are always weighted based on how emotional they are. This one wasn't too emotional. Mariah isn't retiring; she's just leaving, but she got her nice moments with a lot of the roster members. It's very clear like the people she trained had a lot of love for her, and that was kind of the main thing was the bits between the matches. But obviously, it's important that Seri and Mariah or Misa were kind of chosen to get pins over her. So.
Yeah.
And that was that show. No Mayu, by the way, she got sick on the day of
No.
and couldn't
Uh
couldn't take part.
I well not no, but I think her ankles are really fucked.
Yeah, no, her body
Because
is fine.
it was poor physical condition. And
Oh, right.
everybody was like, "Oh, she got a fever." I was like, and then I watched the Sari match and I was like, I don't think she can walk.
A
Like I think
bummer.
that's a bigger problem. Um, which we'll talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Um, our next show then to review was on the 13th of October. This was in Cork and Hall. This did 887 fans, which I think is kind of a dampener. But it was a Monday and it was also at Arse o'clock and
And also there
it didn't
was
do
nothing
anything.
really on it.
Yeah, there was
Like
one big match,
this
and that's a
would
stretch.
have gotten 600 in Shinjuku face, and that would have been a crazy number. I mean,
Yeah,
like it would have done the exact same number. Like this is a Shinjuku face show they put in court. Is my point.
yeah, yeah. It was definitely weaker than a lot of their like recent cards here. They were really relying on Mayu and the Mirai send off, I think, to do it. They did stream this live on YouTube as well, and they did get 75,000 views within the first day. It's currently at 80,000. And eyeballs are eyeballs. If you win over even a
Yeah,
few fans from something like that, then you're doing well. So
and I think for a company that is notably a indie, like very low on the overall totem pole, 80K in a day in 2 days is great. Like
yeah.
that's a pretty solid number.
I think the only
I was
issue to
watching live.
me
They
is it
had
was on
like
the.
6K.
Oh
It
yeah,
was on Wrestle Universe.
Yeah, like I feel like you're getting viewers for Wrestle Universe, but not a Marigold
Yeah,
presence, which
and it's
maybe they don't
harder
care
to
about,
find.
but
It's
yeah,
hard to find if you're just
that's
like looking for Marigold.
they really need to improve their social media presence, but that's a story for another time,
Yeah.
and they are stuck in their ways. Now, this opened with another Megaton three-way, and this was where this is why the Osaka show was a little bit less fun for the opener, because Hummingbird beat Megaton and now Ishikawa in 5.5 minutes with mostly the same kind of fun comedy stuff as the Osaka three-way. So
Now Shikawa after the match said, and I quote, "This shit boring. I don't want to do these Megaton three
so
ways no
funny.
more."
She's so funny. I love her. Um, Tomomi Shino and Yuki Yamazaki beat Nagisa Tachibana, Kazuna Tanaka, and Victoria Yuzuki in 10 minutes. Shino
Fuck yeah.
pinned Tachibana to get
This is
her
a fuck yeah
big
match. Yeah.
win. The pace this was wrestled at was really a lot faster than a lot of Marigold stuff. It's very
Mhm.
interesting insight into maybe where this company is going to go. Because currently it is a lot slower with, Mirai, or not Mirai, sorry, Utami, Iono, even Mayu, Seri kind of being the focal points. But these six just went out there and had a high paced match that maybe their intent to like drive the style towards that. Now, I probably wouldn't because I think it's too Stardom adjacent. But if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
But it's also
Um,
just like when you look at these wrestlers, like Komomo and Yuzuki are Stardom
Stardom,
trainees, and
yeah,
Tachibana is a fast-paced wrestler.
that's
That's
true.
already half of the match.
I just
So
feel
like,
like there's definitely because Yuki Yamazaki got in there with Yuzuki, I think, and they just did a full on high speed sequence for like
yeah,
20 seconds,
Yuka
and I was like,
also is
all right,
sneaky fast. Yeah,
yeah. But I'm just intrigued by what they did there because it was good. Like I think the match itself was pretty
I really
good,
liked
probably
it.
one of the stronger ones of the show. But I just had so much praise for Shino. Like Shino, I know this is almost a meme at this point
Shino
because
was
I
great.
kind of backed her from the My Sakurai match. She just has this real innate sense with wrestling. You can just tell she gets it. Like she puts all of her body into her kicks and then she follows them up with these insane uranagis. Like she just knows exactly when to do stuff to have the most impact. And that's something you can't really teach to a wrestler. You just kind of get it. And you can tell this is a girl who was brought up around wrestling. Her mother was a wrestler. She's obviously been around wrestling because her mom is still a wrestler, has probably been training and stuff like that. So you can just tell that this is a second instinct to Shino in a way that it isn't to even somebody like Yuzuki. I think Yuzuki still sometimes has issues with like whether or not she really gets it, and sometimes she does and sometimes she doesn't. But Shino just immediately understands, and I think her offense is so explosive that she's just going to run away with it as soon as she's full time
Mm.
and as soon as she's here. Like she's just going to charge up the card because it's hard not to get into somebody so explosive. Like that was Goldberg's whole thing, right? Like he wasn't an insane wrestler, but he was an explosive athlete, and that was what got people into a guy like Goldberg. And I think Shino has that kind of same like thrust in her moves and in her move set and everything like that just makes you go, oh shit, she's gonna take somebody out.
Yeah, no, I similarly saw a lot in the Shino Kazuna stuff. I
Hmm.
thought that was like some of my favorite stuff in the match and just like on the card. Like I was like really impressed by just kind of their presence. I think Kazuna has an underrated kind of uh because you bring it up like Shino has that like down to a T from a physical standpoint. I think Kazuna from a body language and just like a facial expression from like more of the acting aspects of wrestling
Mm.
has that down to a T. Like because like I just like instantly understand what she's going for based off of her body language in any given match. It's always different. It's always a bit. It depends on who she's facing, and I just felt like that was kind of the perfect combination because Kazuna is good enough at the wrestling, obviously, and she's great at more of the more psychology and body language sort of stuff. And Shino is so great at just like you said, the explosive, more like intuitive, um, you know, intuitive understanding of how to be a fucking badass cool wrestler. And I thought I immediately saw how well they click together. And I think that's like that makes me super excited for the the Rigoku match, which obviously that was kind of the point. That this was
Yeah.
a preview to that ultimately. And beyond that, Yuki Yamazaki did great. I'm always happy to see her
Hmm.
do well. And Nagisa Tachibana did very well. Uh, her springboards are looking good.
There
Her
was
like
some
I think
awkward bits with Tachibana. There was a few bits where I think she miscommunicated with somebody. I can't remember who.
yeah,
Might have been
probably
Kazuma.
like
There was some awkwardness that I think held it back, but it was just
yes, but
Tachibana.
I think Tachibana like is showing a certain athleticism that I'm like
Mm,
there is actively something to look for here
yeah.
with her.
No, I
Like
got
there's
you.
a lot to explore with her as a rookie.
Okay. Yeah, but no, that was an impressive match, and it's a shame that you can't rate it on Cage Match because Yamazaki still does not have a
Yeah,
profile.
I noticed that. I was so pissed. I was like, "What the? What? How is
Let's get
Yuka
on that.
still not on a cage match?" Yeah.
I know it's crazy. Let's see. Darkness Revolution. Misa Matsui and Rei Seto beat Chikugoto and Minami Yuki in 9 minutes. I won't lie to you. I genuinely do not remember a single thing from this match. Did you remember it happened?
I did remember it happened. Um,
Yeah, this is a rough one. Of
I I know Misa did some did well. Shocker, I know.
course.
Um, like I remember Misa and like Chikugoto doing some cool stuff here and there. I could
Mm,
not tell you a single thing Rei Sato did, or Yuki
yeah,
Minami did for that matter.
yeah.
Uh, which is weird because I did watch I watched this.
Oh, dude, we both watched it
Yeah,
when
yeah, like
we
I watched it
initially
live. I was tuned in. It's not like I was like multitasking. I was watching this pretty intently, and
Mhm.
don't remember much from
It
this one.
sums up the Rhea Seto experience since she's turned heel.
Okay, no, it doesn't.
Every
Jesus
time she's in a
Christ.
Darkest Revolution tag and Nozaki isn't there to help, it's like, oh boy, okay. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, Chanyota Udutami Hayashishita beat Irina Yamanaka and Miko Aono in 19 and a half minutes. Utami pinned
19?
Aono. Yeah, apparently, at least according
No
to Cage.
wonder this went fucking yeah, it felt long. Like it felt
Yeah,
longer
it
than
did.
the usual tag, but I really liked it still. But
Yeah, it was
that makes
good.
sense.
Utami pinned Iono because they're allergic to like interesting builds here.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know why they
why is
see.
the one thing they've stolen from Stardom and Saya Kamitani the 50-50 pins and not like any of the cool aura farming? Like what's happening here?
Because the aura farming isn't cool. It's
It
fucking
is cool.
overdone
But like
and
this is the
lame.
second Utami pay-per-view build this year where one person won a few tags and was like, yeah, I rock, and the other person went no and then won. It's like, really? This is all we got for Utami? Why?
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's probably more glaring. Um, because I
Yeah.
actually kind of liked bits of the Mariah feud. Like I thought that Utami was being like, "Nah, you got to beat me first," and like that was like the gimmick was Mariah trying to find ways to specifically pin Utami in a tag match.
Mhm.
Like I thought that was cool. Like that, like that's a fine way to build that up. And then they kept kind of just doing it, and they just kept going back and
They were
forth, and that
4-4
kind of
going
got
into
annoying.
it.
Uh, yeah, and that kind of like dampened it a little bit, but I still thought that that was interesting. I I would agree that it's kind of like okay, why are we just always doing like I feel like it is a bit too 50-50. But with that being said, this match was great. Great might be a bit heavy. This match was awesome. Um, I
Went from great
loved
to awesome. I feel like it's a step up.
no, because like awesome can be pretty much anything that I like.
I
But
guess. I
great
think the best
like
way to describe it is it has a 6.6 on Cage Match. So
that's
that's kind of
crazy.
that's because I think it only has 5 votes, so it doesn't get the full rating. I think you need more than that to get your full
I mean, to be fair,
rating.
I have it rated as 7, but also
Yeah. So if
I
more
rate
people rated
Dyan
it, I
Cage
think it
Match.
would be 7 or
Yeah,
7.5
because
because they do a
I thought it
weighted
was really
average
cool.
thing. I'm pretty sure it's weird. Cage Match is a
I
weird
thought
website.
Utami specifically had a great performance here. Shocker, I know,
Mhm.
Mr. Utami hate over here. Um, I've always said that I love Utami's insistence on creating tag moves with whoever she's tagging with. If it's like
Yeah.
if it's a notable match, if it's a match in Tokyo, if it has any sort of like meaning or substance to it, she'll be like, let's figure something out. And so her and Chanyota did the double superplex and did the assisted suplex, like the diving assisted suplex. Fucking crazy. Like I think that's so like fucking they rule together. Love them together. It was awesome. I thought Arena did great for what she is. You know, she's clearly the fourth wrestler in this match in terms of just ability. So like I think she did well in that role. And Miku, as always, was very good. I think her and Utami are awesome together. I will say some point during the match, it was a longer match, as I said, and you could tell that the crowd was kind of like, isn't this supposed to be a Miku Utami preview? It's been
Mm.
Arena and Chanyota for a
Oh
while now.
yeah,
Like they
as
just
they
kind of like
deserve.
stopped reacting. There's like, can we get to Tommy and Miko? Like you could tell that people were kind of getting a bit impatient, because it wasn't even much of a preview tag as much of it was just a good tag match, that ended up with a big preview segment near the end. But yeah, I really appreciated what these four did, and I really liked Utami, um, and what she did specifically in it. I felt like this was her best performance in a preview tag recently. I know you know you keep track of those things, so I just thought I'd bring it up. I thought she did great here.
All right. Well, yeah, it was a good match. It
Mm.
was a good time. You know, our next match was not good. Well, okay, that's a bit harsh. This is the Mirai send-off match. It was Mirai and Mai Sakurai against Chiaki and Gisa Nozaki. Mai pinned Chiaki in just under 14 minutes to get the win for her team. Um, just a lot of bits, you know. And there was the occasional bit of wrestling, but there was a lot of bits. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We did the emotions in the gauntlet, and this was just to have
I
fun with
I
Chiaki and
expected the
Nozaki.
bits, but I
Yeah,
did think it was missing. Frankly, it was missing the Mirai closing stretch, which I think is
yeah.
just a complete
Like
misstep.
her and Mai had the gear from their great Twin
Yeah,
Star reign, and then didn't do any of the great Twin Star stuff. So it's kind of like, all right, this is fine.
I, yeah, I
You
felt like a lot of this match was a big misstep. I thought it
Yeah.
was very good. Like I still liked it. Um, but yeah, I mean, like we talked about last week, that's like ideally Mirai loses Chiaki. But even if
Mhm.
Mirai didn't want to lose, I still feel like her over Chiaki would have been better than Mai over Chiaki. Um,
Kind of.
I get that Mai's the one that's sticking around, so like I get the problem there, but it was just kind of frustrating because I think this match, as somebody who has been very emotionally attached to Mirai's Marigold run. Like this has been something that I care about greatly. Um, it felt like it fell a bit flat for
Yeah.
a farewell. You know what I mean? And not because of the bits. I think the bits were necessary because Mirai and Nozaki specifically have been doing those bits on house shows for fucking ever. Like that has always been their thing. Is them like trying to get each other counted out and them fucking with each other and the little dolly into the ring post and like it made sense like doing the bits, but I really was craving like that good final Mirai, that final stand from Mirai
Yeah.
in Marigold, and we just didn't get that. Which makes it all the more frustrating. Uh, that this bitch didn't have to leave. Like I don't know what's going on right now. Like I was watching this and it was over crying, and I'm just like, and you watch the rest of the show, you watch the main event and the post match of the main event, and it's like she clearly was very well liked by the roster. It's not
Oh,
like she
dude,
was pushed
all
out.
of her trainees love her. Like every single one of them have
Yeah,
moments
like
with her.
every single rookie adores her. Like the roster likes her. Utami clearly adores her as well.
Hmm.
Darkness Revolution loves her. They love working with her. She loves working with them. She was probably the next world champion.
Yeah.
She was crying her eyes out over leaving, and I'm just like, why are you leaving? Like, what is happening here? Am I going fucking insane right now? Like,
It's just who she is. You know, as Velke said, this is her fourth different home as a wrestler since like 2019. You know, she went from the K dojo to TJPW to Stardom to here. I just feel like she's not happy staying in one place for very long, and that's just kind of who she is. You know, even if this seemed to be the most upsetting, like this seemed to be the one that affected her the most. I can't really remember her Stardom departure, but even that just seemed
Uh,
like more of a
she
formality.
she was a bit bummed to be like leaving Shuri because she
Yeah,
loves Shuri.
but it seemed like a lot
Uh,
more of a formality. Like she wasn't
yes.
super upset about it. TJ Purdue was the same. I don't think she seemed super upset about it. Um, but here definitely seemed like the most she was impacted by a departure. As it's like I don't know, maybe this is just her. You know, some people are
Yeah.
just
I
like
don't
that.
know. And like I don't know. She's interesting because it's like part of me is like is also frustrated 'cause it's like she could just like leave for like she could have just been like I'm gonna do my fucking I'm gonna find myself and leave for a year and then come back or whatever. But
She will.
like
I don't know. Things
that's what
aren't
I
like
think too, but I
broken
also
down. You
worry
know.
no, but I also worry that Mirai is the type to be very prideful and to be
Mm,
like, I can't go back. I walked out.
yeah.
And that's part of why I'm like now in hindsight, literally right after this match happened, I was like, it's kind of a bummer that they did all of this for her departure because it's like the correct course of action, and not just as a Marigold fan, but as a Mirai fan and as somebody who like feels like you know she see like I don't know as just with my personal insight, with my personal thought process, it's like the ideal would be her going and doing matches she can't do in Mario for the next 6 months or a year. Going and doing fucking indies in America because she wants to do an indie or two, like she wants to do overseas stuff. Wrestling in JTO because I'm
Mm.
I'm sure she still has a relationship with the people like you said that she trained with in K Dojo. Uh, Wrestling Sendai, or it was like just like doing these like cool like side quest things, and then going back to Marigold because that's where she fits in the best. Like I still like
I
I'm
just
kind
think it
of
would
like
be
it's
too difficult for Marigold because you've lost a trainer, and then you'd have her coming back, maybe wanting that spot back. By which point you've already changed to fit
that
your
is
new
that is
trainers.
also a big a kind of a point of contention that I wonder is did she get stripped of the training role because she kept talking about leaving, or did she
Probably.
decide, you know what, I'm actually going to leave because she got stripped of the training role? Like
I think they took it off her. More likely. Rossi is very
that's
cutthroat. That's his problem. Like if he thinks you're
yeah.
not committed, he will just go fine and get somebody who is. I don't think he's. I think he's obviously not
To be fair,
evil, but
I
he's
can't
not a nice
blame
guy
him in
either.
that regard.
Yeah,
If you're talking about leaving, he's probably like, well, shit, who the fuck's gonna train everybody?
yeah. So
Shuji, hey, come here. We need somebody. Especially with Nanai gone, like, and
mm,
it makes sense. Um,
yeah,
but
I
yeah,
just
I
think
don't
it's
know.
too
It's
hard to reintegrate her. After like
yeah.
6 months, maybe a
To
year
be
is
fair,
easier, but even
I
still.
expect I expect her to come back eventually, even if it's
Mm,
just either for a retirement run or just for a
yeah,
few matches ahead of her retirement. If she,
yeah,
like depending
she
on what
wants
she
to.
ends up doing. But yeah, so I expect her to have a match in Marigold at some point down the line. But yeah, I liked the match. The post match, I started tearing up a little bit.
Mm,
Uh, with her going, I beat the fuck out of Chiaki, so she's already gone. But I wanted to say that to win the Twin Star because she deserves it, sort of thing. And again, you know me, you know my emotional attachment to certain things in this company. That really touched me because I've always loved the Mirai Chiaki dynamic. And it was really nice of her to call that out specifically, even if she didn't lay down for her, like I wish she did. Um, it was nice for her to call that out specifically before she left. Like that meant something to me. Damn it.
um, now I will move on, but I don't think we'll be able to preview the Marigold shows. We just don't. We're running a bit close to the
Is there
wall
even
here.
anything?
We're over 2 hours.
Uh,
There's two house shows. I think one of them is a homecoming show, and Coco is here, so I would have
I think
liked to
both of
talk
them are
about it.
homecoming shows.
Yeah, but we have been going for over 2 hours, and I know I'm gonna end up getting taken away. So we're just gonna do this review, and probably won't get to do any previews, sadly. Um, So our next match on our main event was for the Marigold Superfly Championship. Mayu Iwatani beat Seri Yamaoka in just under 12 minutes to get the win. I have to say, I've had this take in the back of my mind for a while about Mayu in Marigold, and I've kind of kept it in the holster because everybody's been like super happy fun times about Mayu since she's jumped. But aside from like 3 or 4 matches, everything she does feels like we're eating the fun size version of a regular bar. And every time I get to the end, I'm like, okay, where's the rest of the bar? I was like, this match had the same wrapper as a Great Mayu match. It had the same chocolate as a Great Mayu match, but it was over long before it could get to the greatness, you know? And I've just been
Mhm.
like, so often with her in this company, I feel like she's going at 70% output as opposed to 100%. I just feel like it was more noticeable here because this show needed the full Mayu. Like, this needed
Mhm.
a great match that only Mayu can do in the main event. And it got the fun size version of Mayu. And I feel
Right.
like this has been her in this promotion so far. And obviously, she's holding it all back for the world title and stuff eventually. But I really just have felt like we're only getting fun size Mayu so far, apart from a handful of exceptions.
Well, see, and I kind of wonder if it's a stylistic choice because she came in and she immediately was like, "Yeah, I like the people here, but I am actively so much better than." Um, and the only people that she doesn't feel that way against is Utami and Nanai, which are the two glaring exceptions to what you just said.
Yeah.
The two matches that were definitely the fullest of like the back and forth Mayu stuff. And Yuzuki, but that's different. She already had her match where she bullied and fucking stacked and smoked Yuzuki.
Yeah.
Like she already had that before she had the great match where they were more back and forth. So I think part of it is like a stylistic choice, which I don't know if I think it's a good stylistic choice necessarily from Mayu to be like, yeah, I'm just so far ahead of you that eventually you just succumb to me beating the fuck out of you and losing.
Mm.
Um, and I don't need to go, fifth gear sort of thing. I just need to go to third or second. Because her second and third gear are better than most people's fifth, ultimately.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like I agree with your sentiment. As someone who has been watching Mayu for again 7 years now. But I still have Mayu as like one of the top 5 wrestlers of the year because she still, even in that fun size capacity, is better than most wrestlers. Like just she just is still.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like I will agree that it's like I'm kind of hoping that it develops, and I think not to excuse it, but the big story of this match was a bit of a less is more approach, because I don't know if Mayu can walk, unfortunately,
Mm.
at the moment. Um, so a lot of it was a bit more of like the not even yeah, I guess the stand and bang Mayu, which is rarely seen, and Mayu hasn't always known how to like follow up on that style where she is a bit more grounded and just kind of fucking punching you in the face ultimately. Uh it's a bit more of a departure from her usual style. Um outside of like the big matches, and this ultimately wasn't a big match. So I can kind of see where it was a bit more glaring here because it was stylistically, it wasn't like a Mayu sprint. You know what I mean? Like it went like the same amount of time that like the Izumi match at the beginning of the year did. But
Mm.
that was a Mayu sprint that gave you everything you want from Mayu in 9 bite-sized minutes. And this was a bit more like, yeah, there felt like there was a chunk of the match missing. This was like 85% of a Mayu match, uh,
Yeah. And it's
ultimately.
disappointing because they did a lot of like really good stuff. I did like what they were
Dude,
doing.
I Sari makes me buy into wrestling more than almost anybody else
Yeah.
right now because at points I was like, I think she might have pissed Mayu off. I think we need to be worried. And then like cuz specifically at one point Sari like fucking like slapped her like super hard.
Mm.
And Mayu just turned, giggled, like said something to Tommy,
Yeah.
turned around and just fucking decked the fuck out of her. And I was like, "Oh, no. Oh, no. This is This is the end of the positive atmosphere in Marigold.
Yeah.
She
No,
just
like,
killed a kid.
Mayu's performance on that end was definitely great. And I think Seri's was pretty great too. I do love Mayu just beating the shit out of everybody. I
Yeah,
just feel like even still, there was that little bit more they could have got out of this kind of
definitely.
dynamic before finishing it up. I think that's just the one thing with Mayu is
The
every time
finish
I'm
was
like,
very much
this
like,
needs to do
"Oh,
some bit more. Yeah, the finish has happened, which I definitely think is
it
a bit
wasn't
of
even
a
the two-step."
disappointment for both of them. Yeah. So like, I don't know. It was a pretty good match. Mayu is Mayu, but I definitely feel like she's holding everything back for an eventual world title run, which is
Yeah.
fine. But I think on a show like this where you needed a great match, I think I would have asked her to be like, hey, listen, you got to put on great Mayu today. We need something. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it was a fun time. Seri Yamaoka is very good. I do, as I've kind of complimented her on her selling a lot. I think her and Hashimoto is going to be fantastic. Just how they combat each other is going to be very interesting. But also, Seri getting her ass beat is going to be fantastic because that's what she does. She's an amazing seller. So you know, I'm very, very interested in that one. But that's all for the review stuff.
I'm looking
Um,
through the shows this weekend. There's not much to actually, like,
No,
dive
I would like
into.
to preview them because I think the Coco Hummingbird stuff is interesting, but I just don't really have the time. I know I'm gonna get dragged away soon because it's
Uh,
8:15. So
the I will say the Seri homecoming match specifically looks very good, even though it's a version of a match we've seen like 7 times. Um, Seri, Mayu, and Shino versus Utami, Yuzuki, and Yuka.
yeah,
Bread and
very
butter,
good.
you know. I mean, that's gonna be good. Uh, and yeah,
Yeah,
um,
we'll get to talk about it in our review anyway, the Coco thing, because I feel like they're either gonna have Coco beat Hummingbird to be like, hey, look, she's better than our roster, or Hummingbird is gonna be like the brick wall senior in her way. Um, but I just don't know which it's gonna be, and I guess we'll know next week. So.
yeah,
Um, with that,
okay,
it is
cool.
time to close the show. Unless you have any closing remarks.
Uh, just Five Guys 3-on-3 matches coming up this weekend, so watch that. Even if you don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, you should watch
Okay.
that because that's like six of the best wrestlers in the company,
All right. Sounds good.
or
With that,
five and the funniest because Sonata.
hell yeah. Okay. Well, that is time to close the show. So if you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Shine forever, Stardom Quest, Gold Do, Passion. Isha.
Passion, Ijo.
I wasn't very passionate. Sorry.
No,
Passion,
passion.
passion, passion, passion.